A little too bright.
Well,
Hey, quiet! Can you dip it a little or no? Is that too bright, Ben?
It's fine. But this thing's
It's for exposure.
What's going on, everybody?
Yeah.
This might be there might be some feedback, so I'm trying to not do that. First off, I just want to thank everybody for coming out here tonight. This is an amazing turnout. We've got so many cars that are out in the parking lot. When I pulled in, I had to park at Town Fair Tire, so that's amazing. I'll announce a lot of the elected officials who are here, and if I miss anyone, just raise your hand and I'll try and get you. But there's so many people here that have played a huge role in not just my political career, but honestly my personal career as well. The first group of people I'd like to thank is organized labor, and I'll give you a little background story with this. I ran for office in 2015 was the first time, right after Bob Hedlund got elected mayor of Weymouth, and I think that former Mayor Hedlund is here as well. He's over there in the corner.
Over here next to his mother.
And one of the first groups that came behind me, and me being a Republican, now granted I'm pretty much right in the middle, but me being a Republican, organized labor, Weymouth Fire, I see Local 17, I'll announce all of them that are here right now, but they took a real chance on me, a real gamble. And I'm so proud of the relationships that I've been able to build with organized labor, both in the community as well as at a statewide level, and all the work that they do. They're the hands that build Massachusetts. They are the people who are the backbone of the middle class, and I just want to give a huge shout out to organized labor. And so from organized labor, and if I miss you, I apologize, but we have Jimmy Young and Jeff Wall from Weymouth Fire. We have Jim Bradley, John Barras, I always get this last name wrong. John, Rudy, Alex, John Clancy. From Local 17, we got Rob Maloney, Bobby Butler, Ed Foley, who was here, who retired, Frank Baxter from the Carpenters, Dennis Lassich from the Carpenters, Dick Ramponi, who's the president of the Constables Association. And so for all those members of organized labor that's here, and all of you who are members of organized labor yourself, thank you. The elected officials who are here tonight, we have Artie Matthews, who's a counselor in Weymouth, Steve Darcy, who's select person in Marshfield, Ted Langell, who's the chief of staff to Mayor Melise, TJ Lacey, who's the director of administrative services and deputy chief of staff, Rick Coughlin, who's a counselor at large, Andy Donovan, who's a counselor-elect, just got elected, same with Ashley Dickerman, who will be joining the Weymouth School Committee. We have Brian Glennon, who's on the Duxbury Select Board, Bill Quigley, who's the chief of police in Cohasset, John Prashad, who's Weymouth Police Captain, Ed Barrett, who's the president of the Mass Bay Fishermen's Association, Greg Shanahan, who's a counselor at large for a few more weeks in Weymouth, Becky Hall, who's a former town councilor, as well as my first campaign manager. Thank you, Becky. Anthony Andronico, who was my communications director, is a former member of the Quincy School Committee and City Council, Frank Burke, who was on the Weymouth Town Council, and last but not and I would also like to thank, well, we'll get to that in a second, state officials who are here, Rep. Ken Sweezy, Sheriff Joe McDonald, Mayor Michael Melise, who took over as mayor of Weymouth most recently. Rep. Dave DeCoste, who's here, who's always here for me as well too, and former Mayor Bob Hedlund is here as well. I'd also like to thank State Representative Pat Kearney, who's here. And Pat Kearney, give it up for Pat. And so after I'm done with the list, now I can say a few words. But honestly, my true heartfelt appreciation just to everybody that's here. And there's so many people who are on this list. I see Colin McPherson, who was a former member of the town council, who's here as well. Jane Hackett, former member of the town council, superintendent of schools in Rockland now. I see so many people who are here that have just played an amazing role, and I just want to say thank you. When you look down this list of the people who are elected officials at a town level as well as the state level, you have people who are both Republicans, who are Democrats, who are independents. And I think that's the thing that matters. When we gather here today, we gather as a community. And what this job is all about to me has been building community. It's not about taking the Republican vote or the Democrat vote or whatever side it is, conservative or liberal. It's really about doing what is best for the community in which you represent. And we've seen time and time again that success play out. And I'm not able to do this on my own. I see so many people across this restaurant right now that have played such a huge role in their own community, and then they've come to us, or in our journeys in crisscrossing this district every single day, we hear from them about an idea that they have, or a vision that they have to try and make something better. And I was just talking with Jody and Mary Nell, who in Situate, most recently, and these are conversations that have been going on for about 8 years, but in Situate, about a month ago, we recently opened up, is it 6 units? 6 units of housing for individuals, adults with intellectual and developmental disabilities. And we played a small role in that, very small role. They did so much work to make that happen, but it's hearing those stories and talking with Jody over the better part of the last decade about the need for this housing. 29% of individuals with an intellectual or developmental disability over the age of 22 years old, that's the number we have of being housed right now in the state. The other 71% are living with their parents, or living with their parents, or living with brothers and sisters, or somebody else, and that's not right. So they've provided a solution to a problem, and I think that's what this is all about. We're all here today to try and do that, and without your support and your investment into the work that we're trying to do, we wouldn't be able to make this happen. At this point in time, I'd like to introduce my staff who are here today. We have Greg Denton, my Chief of Staff. We have Meg Sheeran, who's my Communications Director. Elizabeth Vader, who's our District Director. Tom Scahill, my Policy Director and Legislative Director. And last but not least, Mike Murphy, who's our Constituent Services Director. And I'd like to thank Chris DeMambro for Grille 151. I remember the last time that I was here, I sent him a Facebook message after, and I've known Chris for 20 years, give or take, and he's owned a lot of establishments in the town, and I told him this is his masterpiece. This is such an amazing restaurant. We appreciate you opening this up for us every single year when we have our events, so thank you, Chris. Now, I'll be done in a second, but I wanted to just really highlight another circumstance, just as I did with organized labor. So when I first decided to run, we opened up an office at 777 Broad Street in Weymouth. And you open the doors and you never know what's going to happen, or if people are going to buy into what you're proposing. And one person showed up the day that we opened our office and went and showed up every single day. He'd stuff envelopes. From 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. he was holding signs during our elections. And keep in mind, in 2016, April 12th we had an election. April 12th we had an election. May 10th we had an election. We had an election in September, and we had an election in October as well. So there was a lot of sign holding from that 13-hour span. And every single month now, we go to Hull and we present an award. And I see Wolfie's here somewhere. We present an award to a veteran who's gone above and beyond in our community. And when I think about this individual, we have a special award for him right now. This has been somebody who grew up in the community, who served in Vietnam, who came back, who opened a business in the community. This is the fabric of what, in my opinion, I believe Weymouth is, and so many other communities throughout the South Shore and throughout this entire state. And in addition to this, I first met this gentleman when I first ran for council And so this person has literally been there since the day that I decided that I was gonna get involved. And I got involved with it, and with this individual found out about me through former mayor and former Senator Headland. And so at this time, one of the things we have the great opportunity of doing, we get about 200 a year citations that we can give out to people in the community that are going above and beyond. And we wanted to give one, if I can have it right here. I wanted to give one to Bob Mikowski. Bob, come forward. And Bob, it's in recognition of your outstanding service to our nation as a dedicated member of the United States Navy, and for your unwavering commitment to our veterans and their families. And it's offered by myself, State Senator O'Connor, and it was agreed to by Karen Spoka, the Senate President, and read into the record by Mike Hurley. So this is forever part of the Journal of the Massachusetts State Senate, and I just want to say thank you and how much I really appreciate everything you've done for me. And last but not least, everybody, I hope everyone has a great rest of the evening, an unbelievable holiday season. Merry Christmas, happy holidays. Thank you all so much for having my back. I appreciate it.